All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome in if you're new. In this video, we're going to be discussing HEX and the fact that it remains on track with what we believe to be the path it'll continue on for the duration of its bull cycle, which, again, if you look at a long-term chart, it looks like we're in a macro bull cycle. You could argue against or for that, but it's my opinion that we are in a macro bull cycle. Like, I wouldn't call this 3-week dip a bear market. So if you like this kind of quantitative technical analysis on HEX, leave a thumbs up. Be subscribed by the end of the video if you aren't by now. And let's talk about the fact that we're on track. So one major thing I want to point out is on the daily chart. If you go to Uniswap V2, just go to dex.vision and pull up the HEX USDC pair on, again, Uniswap V2. Look at this candle that we're printing today. Now, sure, we have like 3-4 hours from the time you're watching this until we have our daily close here on July 9th of 2021. However, so far we've printed a beautiful doji candle. What kind of doji? Well, this to me looks like a dragonfly doji, and this is generally a very, very bullish candle formation. Effectively, it means price opened at a level and it dipped vastly lower than that opened, but then price came back to near or at or above the open level for its close. So again, this is a beautiful candle, and if we can close at or above, what is this, 8.2, so 8.2 cents, then it becomes even more bullish because it turns green, right? So far it's looking incredible, and this is generally found at the point of a trend reversal, right? So if on this daily chart we've had, just a few days of red, and this takes me back to a comment of someone saying, "Told you so, HEX is going down." And I mean, yeah, you're not wrong if you're looking at it on like a minute chart, but if you zoom out, like, all I see is thousands of percent gains. Like, sure, we have these dips, but in the long term, just start to finish, right? We are, from the bottom, we are still up approximately 1,389x. So not bad. But yeah, like I'm saying, as long as we can continue this bullishness today, like I don't think price will go back down here. We dipped all the way to 6.87 cents. Generally, we're still on track. This looks bullish. We're still holding our uptrend. If you look at it, right, we have our lows here, higher lows, and I mean on a candle chart, on a line chart, higher lows with this very nice bullish wick. And we looked at a channel yesterday. We looked at this parallel channel yesterday, which I'm going to bring up right now, which has been a support resistance channel ever since big payday, right? And we outlined this in a previous video where we have these clear support and resistance regions on this channel, right? On this parallel channel, we wicked up to it here, a whole region over here, even some resistance right here at the 3-cent pump, brought it back down to 2 cents, and then we just continue to see the significance of this channel. And we've been holding it. And look at where we are now. We are right on it. Beautiful support, in my opinion. Not only that, my Elliot analysis side of me wants to call this a clean ABC correction, which, we've been calling for. I don't want to make this too messy now, but remember that we speculated that this could be an impulse Elliott wave right there, and our original targets were 12 to 24 cents. But maybe that doesn't happen on this 5-wave formation in general, but rather it maybe happens on the next leg up if we're to see that. But then you'd argue this could be your ABC. So it could be flat, bring us back down to similar levels of 6.4 cents. It could go lower, right, than that, maybe 6 cents. But this could be it. This wick could be it. This could be it for our ABC correction, and then it could be just up from here. So getting rid of that, I wanted to point out the significance of this parallel channel, which I mean, a Dragonfly doji with the candle closing above this parallel channel is just bullish to me, which again, it tells me we're still on track for our targets of 12 to 25 cents or even higher in the coming months with this positive externality of pulse chain coming in. And then just to kind of finish off with some of more of the TA side of things, if we pull up our moving average and EMA ribbon, 20-day MA, 21-day EMA respectively, then you see that the candle is not only holding above our parallel channel, but it's also holding above both of these moving averages. And if you zoom in, it's literally right on top of them, which is generally a good sign. When we come up from beneath this moving average ribbon and then hold it as a support, it's generally a great sign. And we've seen that historically. We've covered it plenty of times on the channel, how generally speaking, when price closes above the ribbon and holds it as support, you generally see an uptrend come after. So again, only bullish things that I'm seeing personally. Yeah, things look good to me. Things look good to me. So just to finish off here with some quantitative analysis, let's look at our fair value. We haven't looked at this in a minute, and it's really just based off of our exponential regression rainbow data, right? It's based on the midline, which is the green line. Some of you guys call it the random line. It's not the exact same slope, but it's similar. It's similar. It pretty much represents your midpoint extension from our exponential fit. So again, it's this green curve here, which is the same. This green curve on our rainbow is the green curve on our fair value chart, where the pink curve, our actual fair value, is it's a dynamic moving average of this extension. So it asks you what your average extension is, more or less. So again, this green line is more of a midline, so it's a rough estimate of the average, whereas the pink curve is slightly more true to that average. And you can see that the pink curve is actually true to the green curve in a way too, where it was above it, below it, slightly above it, now it's slightly below it. And just to give you an idea of where these levels are at currently, the pink curve, our fair value, is at around 12.75 cents, and our mean is at around approximately 16 cents. So this 13 to 16 cent region, you could argue, is an actual fair value for HEX. And you can see that price likes it. Price looks at this almost like a magnet. Like when we were above it, it was pulled down beneath it. When we were beneath it, it was pulled up to it, held as resistance. But it kept being pulled up to it. Once we broke it, again, it was pulled down to it like a magnet, rode it for a bit, broke beneath it. When it came back up to test it, again, resistance like it did over here. So we're not surprised that once it came back down and then back up to test it, it held it as resistance. And pretty much ever since pre-big payday, so like ever since early November, we've been holding this fair value curve and this mean line as resistance, right? Resistance here twice, 3 times, 4 times. You could argue for the fact that, like, I know this isn't a horizontal level, but you could argue for the fact that the more times a level is tested, the more likely it is to break. Again, it's more of a flimsy argument because this is a projection as opposed to a horizontal level, but maybe it has some significance there. Might bring you some insight, because back here, I mean, we had this sort of gap and then we broke it. So we've had gaps where we've been holding these levels as resistance. Again, right now they're currently at 13 to 16 cents. So if we were to come up to these levels, 13 to 16 cents, I wouldn't be surprised if we were met with resistance. And if we broke above these levels, I wouldn't be surprised if we went way farther above these levels, right? I think if we break the 13 to 16 cent region decisively and with full bodies, not long wicks, right? I think we could be seeing a bubble like we did over here. Now, to get a better idea of what a bubble like that would look like, well, we've been as far extended above this level as, say, 4.5x, right? And so, and that's from normalized to the green curve. If we normalize to the pink curve, then we've been as far extended as 5.7x or so. So about 4.5x from, a 17 cent level. What would that be? Well, let's get our handy calculator out. Let me just do it in my head. So what is it? like 17 cents times 4.5. Yeah, let's get rid of this camera. It's like 85 cents minus 8.5 cents. So like 76 cents would be a bubble like this one over here, right? Near the 76-cent level. So again, it's not out of the cards. I think if we reach, just to repeat myself one final time, if we reach 13 to 16 cents, I wouldn't be surprised to find resistance. However, if we broke through them and started holding these levels as support with full candles and not just wicks, then I wouldn't be surprised if we actually went way farther above and had a nice bubble up to the 70-cent region or so. So that's your video for the day. Just wanted to outline, a few of the technical analysis side of things. Things are looking good. Holding our moving averages, holding our parallel channel, bullish candle in my opinion, looking like we're going to get a Dragonfly doji. Looks like we're undervalued still. According to this model, it looks like the price of HEX is still undervalued, and it would be more fairly valued if we reached levels like I was saying earlier from 12 to 16 cents. We described what a bubble would look like if we were to bubble up relative to this model. And again, this model is simply based off our regression rainbow. You can find all of these charts on LookIntoHex.com completely free, updated every single day after the daily close, give or take a few hours. And yeah, appreciate you watching. Go ahead and follow on Twitter if you haven't already. We're growing immensely here and on YouTube, YouTube and Twitter. You guys are crushing it with the engagement, and it just helps bring more awareness to HEX, right? If you're interested in it and you want to do your part, well, you don't have to actually be out there onboarding. You don't actually have to be out there in the media as a public, I guess, figure, but rather you can just share the vid or leave a like. That helps. It helps our synergistic cause here. So appreciate you watching. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't by now. Most definitely hit the like. Check out my Twitter. All of that is going to be in the link in the description below. Also check out LookIntoHex.com for the best quantitative charts website for HEX in the world. Appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.